Hello, 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 and welcome to the CUP Ringside, where we give you the best seat in the house on all things wrestling. Well, most things wrestling, all things WWE. And welcome to the CUP Network. Well, we got Real and T and Reality, all this thing. We're part of a network, so we got a lot going on here. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. I got a little bit of water here. That's what I'm gonna drink probably. But what I most importantly I have is something us wrestling fans can definitely we know a little something about it. That's merch. Get
Merch.
your cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Well, I mean, I guess there could be some excuses if your country is on fire, under fire, or underwater. So, if that's the case, what's happening right now, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And we hope everybody is safe and gets back to some sense of normalcy in their life. And when you do get back to that sense of normalcy and everything is good, celebrate by getting cut merch. Period. Thank you.
And I have discovered that I may as well be a vampire this weekend because I can't get enough of the bloodline and bad blood. I've been sucking it up all afternoon right before watching this, and it has been absolutely delicious. Chef's kiss to this entire event.
I loved it too.
Topher's my name.
Oh. If you didn't know, that's Topher. We know all the way into it. We don't dare give no name. That's okay. But yeah, we are here talking about Bad Blood. We'll give it a recap of everything that went down yesterday. It was exciting to watch. If you watched it live, that was amazing. If you took a day to watch it the next day, it was still exciting. I'm probably gonna watch it again later on tonight because it's just that good. I thought it was a good pay-per-view and I enjoyed pretty much everything that happened. But go ahead.
I was say it was absolute cinema when Triple H says that professional wrestling is not a sport, but it is a movie about a sport. We saw absolute cinema this weekend, in my opinion. Yeah,
we saw cinema this weekend.
Flaws, but
we saw cinema this weekend, not just from the show. We saw cinema. The buildup was pure cinema.
Right.
Coming into Bad Blood, we had vignettes happening that looked like movie trailers, and Triple H is getting in the game, back in the game, and doing whole movie trailers with Cody Rhodes and Metro. I'm
Metro,
like,
not Metro PCS, but
no,
Metro Boomin.
Metro Boom. I mean, is there any other Metro? Do you know any other Metro?
I don't know. I've never heard of Metro Boomin prior to this event. I assume he's great.
I'm
Atlanta legend.
Sure. Some people like him, so he's there. Yeah. Atlanta loves him.
Quavo was there.
Yeah, Quavo was there.
Quavo. And Bill Goldberg, as well as who was the guy sitting to the right of Bill Goldberg? Another rap artist.
Killer Mike was there.
Killer Mike, yes. Oh my gosh. All of the stars were out.
All the stars were there.
A Legends event. Scott Steiner, Mickey James, like
Jacqueline.
Yes, everybody showed up in Atlanta today.
DDP and Arn Anderson. They were all there.
16,000 people, highest grossing arena show of any WWE event ever, which is crazy because earlier this year they just had the highest grossing arena show of any WWE event ever. So they're incredible numbers for an incredible show.
I can attest that I was trying to wait to the very last minute to get a ticket to go, and I was trying to get the tickets down to a reasonable price for me because the tickets were expensive. And I was like, I need them to come down just a little bit for me. I didn't get to go. Some other things got in the way of me going. But when I say the tickets were scarce, the only tickets that were left around like 2 hours before the show were the ones right behind the ramp, right above the Titantron. Those were like the only seats left. And they were going for like $200 and some dollars. And I was like,
that's a hefty ticket.
hefty ticket. I watched, and when it after the first match happened, the tickets finally went down to $51.
Uh,
I was like,
Perhaps maybe we should get some friends over at Game Time to start sponsoring.
I would love Tick Pick, Game Time,
Yes,
SeatGeek, uh,
we.
Video,
I
whatever,
I love.
Vivid. Uh,
Yes, I love Game Time. So that's where
I,
that's where I
I
go.
will take a StubHub. Any of you all want to sponsor us and send us to wrestling events? I'll get there. You just have to give me some good tickets, and I will get there to go. Like I don't mind driving or getting in the car. Just give me 2 tickets so I can take somebody who can drive with me because I can't drive. So any of y'all want to sponsor the cup and send us to different wrestling events? We will definitely take it and we will go for sure. Um, but let's get into before we jump into the ringside into the recap. Follow us on all of our platforms. Like I said, we are part of a network, so we have 3 other channels that we would love for you to follow as well as this one. So follow us here, hit the subscribe button, and then go in the links in the description below and hit our link tree, and you will see all of our other links you can hit, as well as our audio podcast links and our Patreon links where we give you early access and exclusive content. And so if you want to join all of that stuff, support us in that way. But for real, subscribe to this channel because, yes, we appreciate it. Let's get into it, Topher, because we got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to do it. So we're going to get right into Bad Blood. And it is in the order of the matches because, boy, did they start off with a banger of a match with CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. And to no one's surprise, I'm going to say, because I was not surprised that this was going to be a great match. Two
Hmm.
great performers, 2 great athletes, uh, a lot of bad blood between them, and they had to settle it, and it had to be settled. What did
This
you think about this match?
this should have been the main event. I think this was the most anticipated match. I think this had the best feud going into it. I truly appreciate CM Punk said in an interview at a presser earlier this week that he didn't want a sell that needed a match. He wanted a match that needed a sell.
Mm,
And this was it. The feud was worthy of it. The two of them told a masterpiece. It was brutal. It
mm-hmm,
was brutal, but it wasn't just like AEW has this thing where things don't escalate; they just kind of end up there. You get situations involving pizza cutters and plastic bags and things like that. Whereas this story, this match, elevated to the point of needing that level of gratuity, and it was believable and it was necessary. I mean, and so I felt like this has to be a 5-star match because of simply of the story that it told. I truly believe these guys needed to beat each other up, and they really wanted to take the life out of each other. It was beautiful.
oh, and let me forget, before I forget, I don't want to overlook this. Our own prediction show that we did, we had our own predictions, and it was just me and Brooke this time, but Brooke, the queen of the cup, had to say that. All hail to Brooke right now because they also won the Bad Blood predictions, beating me out by 1 match. So it's fine. But
Oh, hail
congratulations to
King
you,
Brooke.
Brooke, because you ate and you are the queen of the cup, like you said, till May of next year, and you are now the Bad Blood. You're the Bad Blood queen of. You're the queen of Bad Blood too.
You the
Period.
bad chick with the bad blood.
You're the queen of Bad Blood. So eat it up, Brooke.
Bad blood.
But yeah, for me, I like this match. I love this match. This was for me. It was match of the night. I enjoyed it so much, but I understand why they didn't put it as the main event because of what they had to happen in the main event. So I
Yes.
understand it, but I feel like I'm not mad that it wasn't the main event because you start the show off like this, it only makes me want to stay around and watch.
Right.
I need the show to start off with a banger. I like how the show starts and I like how the show ended. So I think they book ended it well. I think if they would have flip flopped it, it still would have ended well, but it wouldn't have had the impact that the end had. Then so
Yes.
I get it. But this match was so believable to me. And we wrestling fans who know we know how what this is and it's entertainment and all of that. But this felt like these two people wanted to literally kill each other.
Mhm.
And they went all out. And it wasn't just a bloody match just to be bloody. Like you said, it had purpose, it had intent, it had reason. And I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I think Drew sold what he needed to sell and get out the frustrations that he needed to get out. I think CM Punk got out the frustrations that he had built up. I don't I would love to be like, this feud is over, and it should be. I think it should be. I think this was a great place to let it go, but who knows what'll happen down the line with them and in the story. Um, but this was just a good match. This was just a good match. Spot after spot, I enjoyed.
I this feud should be over. I think this is should be a wrap.
Hmm.
I feel that it's no longer you can't top this. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the end. So I really appreciate what was accomplished with this. I do like Drew doing that Claymore and
Oh,
missing at the end, and him
oh.
hitting his back on that steel.
Hmm.
I was like, I literally like was like audibly gasped because I was very concerned for this man.
Hmm.
But it was, you know, they took no prisoner. 14 stitches in his head
Yeah.
from the toolbox.
Yeah.
You know, like these men put it all on the line,
They
and
did.
I want to see where CM Punk goes from here. I think the CM Punk deserved to win this feud.
Yes.
I think you know, Drew McIntyre has a future
Yes.
and will be the future, but CM Punk is the right now.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to see where this puts Punk as far as putting him in the title picture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. CM Punk needed this one, and me and Brooke both said CM Punk was going to win, so started out great for us. Then we move into the Nia Jax Bailey for the Women's World Championship match. And again, I thought this was a good match. I thought it had its twists, its turns. It had its Tiffy time controversy coming out and looking like she was going to cash in on Nia. Um, but I thought Bailey put up a heck of a fight in this match, and I thought she took Nia to the limit, which Nia doesn't get taken to the limit often because she's so dominant. And I think Bailey did what she needed to do in this match. It was a really good match. It was some good spots in it. But when Tiffany came out with the Money in the Bank briefcase, looking like she was going to cash in on the down Nia because she was down for a minute, but then flipping it or trying to turn it around like, no, no, I wasn't doing that. I was only here to help, blah, blah, blah. When Nia sat up, because Nia, that's the memes on Twitter is going around. Nia pulled the Undertaker and was like, wait a minute, what is happening? And so I thought this was a good match. I thought it was fun. Nia ended up winning the match, of course, and still the women's champion, giving Bailey, what I like the Annihilator. I really love that move, and I like how they are using it more as her finisher instead of anything else. So I enjoyed this match.
I thought Nia looked good. Nia was strong. I love the Nia Tiffy time story. I like that it looked like, you know, Tiffy was going to cash in and then she didn't. You know, the only thing that I think was lacking in this was I didn't. I'm not on the Bailey train. I didn't
Mm,
feel like we really had a lot going into this that gave me any reason to believe that Bailey was going to have her night here. I
Should have
think
been
every
Naomi.
other match on the card was unpredictable, but this one I just felt like there was no real chance of Bailey taking it. But I love that it furthered the story between Naya and Tiffy.
Me personally, I feel like it should have been Naomi. I thought
Should
thought this match should have been Naomi and Naya. Maybe it would have the same outcome for people. Like we don't see what it did for Naomi, but I think it's furthering the story between Naomi and Bailey. Maybe getting one of them a heel turn soon. I don't know, but I do think this story between Naya and Tiffany is starting to heat up, which I think they want. I'm not sure about a face Tiffany if I want face Tiffany, but uh, I think that's where it looks like it's leading.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I maybe they think Tiffy's getting over and that's why they want to go with a face Tiffy. I
I like
in my
heel Tiffy. If
opinion,
I'm gonna deal with a Tiffy, it needs to be heel Tiffy
yeah,
because
heel
I feel
Tiffy.
like this character that she has right now is not a face character.
No, heel Tiffy, heel Naya. They need to ride with the whole Naya and Tiffy thing. I think that Tiffy. I mean, Tiffy can go over to the other
Take
side
Liv,
and yeah, take on
yeah,
Liv.
take
And,
on Liv.
and now we have a weird, and we'll talk about it a little bit
Well,
later in the show. But I'm very curious as to what
where this is
direction we're
going.
going. Yeah, because that's we got a lot of
Oh,
heel on heel action going on. So
it's
we'll see.
weird.
We'll see.
But shout out to Naya. I love that she won. And she looked great, by the way. Let me
Yep.
just say the face card was on point yesterday, Naya. She looked spectacular. I
Yep.
was
And
mhm.
and she's still holding it down as champ. Still looks good. Still
Absolutely.
believable. So
Absolutely. We move on to Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. What you think about this match?
I really I think I wanted more. I had a lot of back and forth between the two. I think that it kind of fell victim into I think everybody just kind of wanted to get their stuff in, and I don't think there was enough. Uh, I'll just outright say it. I don't think there was enough selling. I
Mm,
think that this was a very much so like Finn Balor hits the coup de grace, which is his finishing move, and Damian Priest is up moments later. And it's no fault of these two men. They're both very very talented individual. I think they just came out there wanting to be flashy,
mm,
and I think they in a night that was very heavy on story. I
mm,
think that they missed the boat just a little bit. I feel like this match just was was off by
mm.
just a little bit. Something didn't click for me.
I agree with you. I think it was a little. This was probably my least favorite match of the night for that reason. I felt like it was so much happening that it was just too much to like grab anything. I couldn't grab on to anything because everything was just so much piled on. Like we saw, like I said, coup de grace and we saw Damien's finisher and Finn kicking out. Like people were kicking out of finishers. I'm like, these are supposed to be the strong things that's supposed to end it, and we
Right.
have them kicking out several times. And then of course we were like typical, predictable. The Judgment Day shows up, and even with the Judgment Day showing up, that still didn't help Finn win. So it's kind of like it just made them look even more of a joke as the Judgment Day without Damien and without Rhea. So it looks like a joke kind of thing. And then I don't even think it's over. Like I don't think this feud is over, which I wish it was, but it's
Right.
not because it's I don't know. I just feel like it's something lacking in the chemistry between that happened in that match. Maybe it was just an off night and maybe it'll get better in the next match, but I don't know. It just seemed a little off. But Damian Priest did win,
Yep.
which I was happy about.
And
But I
I
thought he
think
was close.
during Damien's championship run, he kind of transitioned a little bit into becoming a face, right? By the
Mm-hmm.
time he faced Gunther, he was a total face. He had, that documentary that came out right
Mm-hmm.
before then that really profiled who he was. I think Damien now needs to separate himself from the Judgment Day altogether.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
we need Damien to move on. See, this is where this is where I think WWE has a problem right now, is because you've got one show that has been entirely monopolized by, for better or for worse, because some of it's good, but by like the whole Bloodline storyline, that it's like, where is Damian Priest supposed to go?
Right.
If he's gonna move on, and now that he's a good guy, like, does he continue to feud with Gunther? Does he get his win back against Gunther? Does he move on to, does he go over to SmackDown? But then, like, who's he feuding with on SmackDown? Is he helping Cody Rhodes? Like, we've got to reassess our heel face scenario of potential feuds that I think might help get people over, because I don't want to lose all the momentum that Damian had. I'd call Damian an early Royal Rumble winner prediction, but I don't think that's the direction we're going in anymore.
I agree. I don't know where they're going to take Damian, but I do think they need to move him away from the Judgment Day story. I don't know where they take him from here. I don't know who he feuds with, but I still think he should still be in the title conversation for
Agreed.
sure. But like, if Gunther is getting busy with Sammy, and it looks like Goldberg at some point might come back and do something, and I don't know where he fits in. And then what does he do until he gets that time? And
Yep.
it's a weird thing. And now we got Raw moving to 2 hours soon, so that's less time for them to have more matches. So where does he fit in? It's an interesting dichotomy that they are at with him. But I do hope they don't just shove him to the mid card and leave him there, because I do believe he deserves to be in the title conversation.
Right. This is going to be a good opportunity too for him to try to climb his way back to the championship. But the problem is we lack a series of heels for him to go after. You know what I mean? Like, you've got the number one babyface on Raw is probably CM Punk right now. Right? So, like, who is Priest going to upseat? I don't know. And so I don't know what this does for Priest's future. I hope he's done with the Judgment Day. He should have been done with the Judgment Day when him and Rhea faced Dom and Liv. Like, that was the separating. But, we'll see where he goes from here.
And speaking of Dom and Liv and Rhea, we do have the Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley match with Dominic in a shark cage hanging up in the air. I felt like that was the most pointless thing to happen because it did nothing. This match for me was a little bit better than the Damian and Finn match, but only by a hair. And when I say just a hair, just a slim, because not mad at the outcome. I understand why Liv should win this match. I don't like the return of Raquel in this match because it did nothing. Like, I don't know what happened, if she was confused, but first of all, she got no pop whatsoever when she came back. Then it was very confusing. Like, she comes out, she attacks Rhea right in front of the referee. So of course that's going to be a disqualification. But she then pulled Rhea in the ring and puts Liv on top of Rhea, like, to pin her. The bell had already sounded, so the match was over. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if she just got confused. It was weird.
So there must have been some flammables in when Chelsea Green fell in the dumpster, because this was a dumpster fire. Okay, so freaking Dominic Mysterio just pushes open the gate door.
The gate.
How did he get it unlocked? I don't know. Nobody knows.
I know. We didn't see him picking it at all.
Right. And, like, I'm sorry. How high up was this cage? It was like maybe 12 feet. We've seen people jump off of ladders where he could literally have jumped down and it would have, like he would have been fine. Like, so it was not even in the slightest bit. And then, oh wait, he falls out of the cage, which just for no apparent reason, he just goes, whoa, and he's hooked on something, Then Rhea does her whole pinata thing, but Dominic is in full suit. So it's like, how much of a pinata is he really? Because he's freaking got body armor on. So it like didn't even look good. And then, yeah, out of nowhere, Raquel Rodriguez pops up and attacks Rhea Ripley and puts Rhea. You know who would have been better suited for this? Not somebody that's trying to help Liv Morgan, but maybe building a feud for Rhea to separate herself on and let Liv go another way. Maybe Shayna Baszler's faction would have came out and Shayna Baszler would have attacked Rhea Ripley and said, "You're not the baddest woman in WWE."
Period.
And let them go at it. But no, Raquel Rodriguez, who has never been a delight. I've never seen a Raquel Rodriguez match that I have enjoyed, is now involved in this, I guess, as Liv's bodyguard, because that's what Liv needs as a bodyguard.
As a champion, Liv needs a bodyguard.
Which isn't unheard of for heel champions, but it just wasn't, it doesn't fit for me. And yes, the ref with the disqualification, and then she throws, like, it all looked stupid. Everything about this match, like, if earlier Punk and Drew was cinema, this was like, when you're on Amazon and you're scrolling through those weird Prime movies and you see like a bootleg, like Triassic Park, like that's not like actually it. That's what this was. This was put on by a bunch of amateurs, and neither one of these women are bad at what they do. This match just didn't click. Unnecessary.
No, this was very much straight to DVD type of movie. This is a very bad Lifetime Hallmark movie. Right. It wasn't good. It wasn't, and I agree with you. Heel champions sometimes do that whole, bodyguard thing. We saw Shawn Michaels do it with Diesel. Okay,
yeah, it works.
So it works, but it just, I don't think Raquel is entertaining. I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of her. I don't think she's that entertaining. I don't think and obviously she's not that convincing, because none of us was convinced. In who comes back after being gone as long as she has to no pop?
No pop.
None whatsoever. Like, that means we didn't care about her before she left, and we certainly don't care about her coming back. So it was just wild. It was just wild, and it was really confusing. But Liv still got Rhea won with the disqualification. Rhea won by disqualification, but Liv is still the world's women's champion. So there we have it. In between all of this, we got the announcement that in 4 weeks we're having Crown Jewel. And they're going to be a Crown Jewels champion, because we're going to have champion versus champion matches. So as of this point, right now, we should have Gunther versus Cody if nothing changes before Crown Jewel. And then we will have Liv versus Nia if nothing changes before Crown Jewel.
And the Liv versus Nia of it all is the match that seems bizarre to me. I don't know how you put it together. You can't just have them face each other for no reason. Like, it's heel on heel. I guess it's going to be, I don't know. I don't know what direction they go with it. It's very unusual to me. So
unless Tiffany cashes in on Nia before Crown Jewel, we might have a Tiffy versus Liv, or Tiffany actually does cash in on Liv, right? And it's Tiffany versus Nia.
So I don't know. We'll see. Cody versus Gunther, that's a money match. That's a main event in the world. So that'll be fine. But which, if Gunther even is like Gunther versus Goldberg, like that's gonna be a unique scenario. And can we talk about how ugly that
I don't like it at all. I thought I was by myself. I was
I
like,
thought
ew.
we were about to get the reveal of the women's mid card
Women's mid
belts,
card matches.
and then they reveal this ugly
Ugly,
like
ugly
thing, and they're
belt.
like, "Oh, it's the crown jewel trophy." Which, okay, you know what? Thank God, give crown jewel a gimmick, have it be the champion versus champion because I like that a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that not being on Survivor Series. So,
Right. Fine. But we move to the main event of the night, which was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. What you think?
um, actually, I thought this is going to be a hot take. Um, I thought Cody actually looked a little less than. And the reason why was because there was a moment when Cody got the hot tag and he hit the Cody cutter on Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the crowd just didn't react.
Mm.
And Cody had to be like, come on, yeah. Like, and of course the crowd reacted from there. But everything about it, the entrances were really cool. I love but like Roman Reigns is just the guy.
He's
He
that
is
guy.
the guy. It was so cool to have him as like a good guy with everybody in the audience with their ones in the
Mm-hmm.
air. Like Roman is God mode,
He is God mode.
you know? Which is why Cody should have been taken onto a different show and away from the bloodline so he could
Yep.
thrive in his own independence.
Yep. I agree
But,
with you. It very much felt like this was Roman's show
yep.
and this was Roman's match and Cody was just there for along for the ride. But I still thought it was a good match. It I mean, I love, like you said, I love the entrances. Look, not Cody biting off of Bianca Belair, bringing out the HBCU bands, but that's okay. We love that for you. I love that for the HBCU bands to come out. Arkansas Pine Bluff, my cousin went to that school, so shout
Um,
out to them.
but Cody's wife, Brandy.
He's adjacent. We know.
He's a good,
He's look. Cody watches TikToks. He saw them playing his song on TikTok. It's fine,
right,
and that's cool. Like I said, it's cool. It's cool. It was good. I enjoyed it. Love Roman's entrance. Um, I just what I thought was hilarious and was so funny. Why they had Solo and Jacob just have to stand in that ring all that time and watch Cody's entrance happening and the band surrounding the ring, and they were just
right.
like,
That was a little silly.
it was. I was like, they should have just let them come out second. It's fine. I get it. You want champions and Roman to come out
Right.
first, but to make them stand in that ring all that time to watch 10 minutes of Cody's entrance and then 10 minutes of Roman's entrance, it was just like that's a lot.
Right.
But it was a good match to me. It was I'm just every time I watch this man wrestle, I become more and more of a fan, and that is Jacob Fatu. I love him. Every time I watch him wrestle, I love him more and more. I don't know when it's gonna happen. He's gonna have to break away from Solo at some point, but when he does, I think he's going to be amazing. I love him on his. I just love watching him wrestle. He's so intense. He's so just ooh. It's every. I believe the savagery in everything that he does. Like I believe when he hits, it hurts.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu is incredible. So Solo is he's not the guy, which is like the whole point of this storyline, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
Solo is not the guy, and I think that was so evident having Jacob, Roman, and Cody all in the ring. If Solo's
Yep.
got the least amount of charisma out of all of them, and then like I I didn't know if we could expect something. I didn't know what we could expect. I heard a lot of rumors flying. I honestly thought about remember back. So Rikishi had sent out a tweet a while ago saying
Mm-hmm.
prayers for Jimmy.
Yep.
Like, and I'm thinking, oh man, I hope he's okay. Is something wrong? Like, he really hasn't been around. Jay's been doing his thing, but Bandit, Bandit comes out.
The bandit comes out. It's typical Jimmy fashion. Black hoodie and a bandana, standing and like I saw the other pictures, like different angles from when he came out. He was under the ring. I was like, was he under
Yeah.
the ring the entire time? Crazy. Um, but he slides out from under the ring and stands in between Tama and Tangaloa. He slides out and he stands behind him, and they don't see him.
Oh no! I thought he was, I thought he was gonna be another Samoan that we haven't met yet.
Yeah, I thought it was like a different one because we heard different more Anoa'i family members was coming into WWE.
Some
And so I'm
rumors.
like, is it some more? Which it is, and I'll be happy to have them. But when when I saw the black hoodie and the bandana, I was like, oh, that's Jimmy. Oh,
Yep.
that's I literally had to make a TikTok in that moment, like Jimmy, screaming my head off because that's who I wanted. That's what I wanted. I wanted Jimmy to come back, and he did, and he got his lick back not only on Solo but on Tama and Tangaloa as well to help Roman and Cody win this match, and it was I loved it. I
Yeah.
was like,
This was
yes, we
really
saw
fun.
the return. Well, Jimmy and Roman embracing, getting back together, which I'm like, yeah, because Roman lost everything and he needs his people back. So I'm like,
Yep.
Jimmy comes back, the wise man comes back. He has to go and figure out how he gets through to Jay because Jay no longer
I don't know.
needs
Keep
Roman.
Jay doing his thing. Keep Jay on Raw doing his thing. Don't bring Jay back into this.
Jay's coming back into this. I know we don't
Oh
want a lot of people don't want Jay to come back into this,
no!
but at some point Jay is going to come back into this because the bloodline is like a gang. You can never fully be out of the bloodline. You can walk away and they can let you walk away for a minute, but at some point you're coming back. And so he'll be back, but it will be on different terms. It will be a difference in Jay than it was before
Right.
because now Jay no longer needs the bloodline. The
Nope.
bloodline needs Jay. And so Roman is going to have to come to Jay correctly if he wants Jay to come back. And I think when we get to War Games, the Survivor Series, it might happen sooner than we think. So,
Yeah, this is gonna be an incredible War Games match.
so excited. But after that, we see Cody getting jumped by the by Solo and the Tongas, and Roman took a minute to question if he wanted to go back and help, and Jay was like, "We should." And he was like, "Oh, look, I'm gonna follow you. What you say, go, because you the tribal chief." And Roman decided to go back and help Cody. They help Cody. They get everybody out. Superman punches Solo. Roman picks up the championship belt because he told Cody a couple weeks ago, "You're in my way in
In
life."
in life.
In life. So Cody is like looking at him like, "Give me my belt." And Roman is like, "All right, I give it to you." So he gives him the belt, but they have a stare down. He gives him the belt. Cody holds the belt up, and then if you smell what the Rock is cooking, hits. And
Bring,
again, I'm screaming. I'm like, what the heck is
bring
happening?
back the final
The
boss.
final boss is in the building, and he comes out and he stands there. The music cuts, and he goes,
Right. I
and
didn't
then
know
he
what that
walks
meant.
away.
I didn't know what that meant.
What does that mean? What do you mean you put up 1, 2, 3 and then swipe it across your neck and then walk away?
Like, is it over? And whose side is he on?
Who's
Whose side is he on? Because there's the TikTok out of Solo telling Jacob, this is all part of the plan.
right? So it's like, what is what is happening?
I don't know.
So we get all of that, and we get the Rock in the back. All this backstage footage starts coming out on social media right directly after that, and we get the Rock talking about what happened out there was hell, and what happened back here is heaven. And do you want everybody want to know what the Rock has to say and what this means? What this means for the final boss? Well, the final boss will tell you what it means when the final boss is ready to tell you what it means. And
Right.
he walks away. So we still have no idea what is happening with the final boss and what all that means. Meanwhile, we see Cody going to his bus to leave, confronted by Kevin Owens, and they're arguing, and then Kevin attacks Cody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, none of this is on
They get
on
into a legit fight.
a fight. And
Yep.
so we're like, what
And none of
is
WWE hasn't acknowledged it yet. It's not on any WWE. It's all fan viral.
and I'm like, so is this part of a story that is going to come out now? Or what is happening? What is happening? I don't get it. I don't understand. If it's just is it a personal matter between Kevin and Cody now, or I I, I don't
We
know.
won't know. We won't know.
I'm
It's
just very confused.
War Games is going to be excellent.
Hello, I'm like, and we got Crown Jewel in the middle of all that, but I could care
Ugh,
less. I want to
get
get
much
to
about
War
Crown Jewel.
Games.
I just want to get to War Games. I don't even need to watch Crown Jewel. We can skip Crown Jewel. It's a Saudi show, you know.
Right?
We'll recap it. We're not skipping the recap,
We're
but
not gonna skip it.
we
We're gonna
we
predict it. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna do it. But I just want to get to War Games.
I know.
But over overall, Topher, I want to know what you would rate this show.
Oh, this gets a full. This is a full Topher show. This is TOPHER all day long. This gets it's a full Monty. I would give it a 10 out of 10. The only thing that holds it back is the Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan of it all. I think that maybe pulls it down a little bit. Maybe it's an 8 out of 10 because of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it a 10. I would probably give it a 8.
Yeah, this is a 2-match show. Only 2 matches
The-
matter.
Really, pretty much. You put those beginning and end, and that was all you needed to see.
Right.
For sure. So yeah, I would probably give it a 7.5.
Yeah. You take those 2 matches in a vacuum, and it's a great show. You add in the rest of it, and it brings it down.
Yeah. But I still enjoy watching it. I'll still probably watch it again. I'll probably skip like you said, I'll watch the beginning and I'll watch the end and skip all the stuff in between. But they can make it up to us if they give us some really good shows this week and next leading up until War Games, because they have room for improvement. They just have to make it work. They just have to make it work. And I think they can do it. I think they can do it. And I enjoy every second of this. So, but that's where we're going to leave it because we really got nothing else to talk about. CM Punk, period. And hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you think about what you thought about Bad Blood in the comment section below. Tell us how you felt about it, what you rated. Let us know how you feel. And follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Follow all of our links to all of our other channels. You can subscribe to all of them in our description below, as well as our audio podcast links and our Patreon and our merch. Get your cup merch.
The merch.
Get the merch. And so we're going to get out of here. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Bye.